Hello, I am Jim Bob and welcome to a live stream here for Train Sim World. We're going to be looking at the brand new West Somerset Railway, and this is something I haven't actually looked at all yet. I've had it now for a day or two, and I've been waiting for this live stream before I actually take a look at this. So this is a completely first look for me as well. I've avoided looking at any footage. I've avoided, playing it myself because I wanted this to be a proper first look for me as well. So, let's jump in. And there it is. There is our brand new expansion here, the West Somerset Railway Pack. So we have rolling hills, golden meadows and seaside views are yours to experience in Train Sim World West Somerset Railway, bringing Britain's longest heritage railway to life. Operate your trains in a diesel gala environment and keep the tourists entertained with a diesel bashing display of powerful locomotives thundering through Somerset's beautiful countryside. Let's take a look at the locos themselves. There's two trains in this pack. There's the Class 09 Shunter and there's the Class 47 diesel as well. Looking forward to getting my hands on both of these two locos. And straight away we're into an introduction for the Class 47. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got DJ Jewel and Ian. Hello guys, how are you both doing?
This is a Class 47 diesel-electric locomotive in British Rail green livery. This tutorial will go through the start and stop procedure. Climb aboard to get going.
And David's in the chat as well. Hello David. So, I love this classic BR green livery. And this is the North Star, running number D1661. This is a genuine real-world locomotive. This is a replica of the North Star, which actually does exist on the Heritage Line in West Somerset. And this whole area is a recreation of that. I'm not sure how far the track runs. I think it's a 20 to 24 mile stretch of track in total, I think. It's a genuine heritage railway that you can go down and see as a tourist attraction and actually, ride on this train in real life. Ian asks, can you get a season pass for this game? Not at the moment. I don't know if there's any plans to release one in the future. At the moment, the only standalone DLC is this pack here, which is the West Somerset Rail. There is going to be a Rua Nord pack added at some point in the future. Beyond that, I don't know what the plans are for future DLCs. And I would imagine at some point they will release the additional locomotive from the premium edition of this game as a separate purchase, but I haven't heard any rumours or rumblings about that. I'll have to actually get in touch with them and ask them if they're going to make that separate at some point. Badcat150, Badcat50, welcome to the stream. Watch out for this game's extreme crashes. When you say extreme crashes, do you mean crashing the train or just the game itself crashing? Because I haven't experienced any crashes with the game at all. I have crashed the train once or twice.
Sit in the driver's seat.
Right, so it's giving us the same.
To get the loco started, set the battery isolation switch to the closed position.
Oh, that's right behind us.
Control desk. Set the master key into the on position.
It's giving us the same basic level of tutorial as if we'd never played the game before. We need to set the reverse set into forward. Well, engine only.
The locomotive is now ready to be started. Push the engine start button on the control desk. To release the air pressure holding the wheels, set the driver's brake to the running position.
Well, this DLC is extremely crashy. What system are you playing on, Badcat? Are you playing on the PS4 or are you playing on Xbox? And if you are on a console, which one of those two are you on? Is it like a Pro or a standard PS4 or Xbox One or One X? Okay, we're still waiting for the brakes to charge.
With the
You can see this gauge here, that's the brake pressure there, I think.
To the forward position.
Reverser to forward.
To make others aware that this loco is operational, switch the headlights on. Turn the parking brake handle to release it.
Parking brake. Oh wow, the parking brake.
To get going, set the throttle to at least 20%.
Oh, standard PS4, okay. I'm on a Pro, I don't know if that's going to make a big difference. But I haven't experienced any crashes with the game before. The odd graphical bug or glitch, but nothing serious. And this is the first time I've loaded up the new DLC, so I don't know about how this is going to perform. Hopefully it'll be fine. Marcel is in the chat as well. Hello, Marcel. And JBSBT as well. Looking to get up to 10 miles an hour. It's taking a little while.
Well done. The loco is on the move. To maintain a specific speed, set the throttle back to the... To bring the locomotive to a gentle stop, set the driver's brake to the initial application position.
Did I set that to initial? No. There we go. Oh, look at this level crossing. That looks awesome. And we're just going to park in front of the in front of the traffic. Why not? Why not, indeed?
Take this basic training and apply it to further operations, and you'll do great.
There we go. First trophy, West Somerset Rail Star Pupil. Fantastic. Neil asks, am I going to do a live video of Transport Fever on the PC? No, because I don't own a PC that can game. I am a console player only. Next tutorial. Get our first look at the Class 09. Brandon asks, is this the new DLC? Yes, this is the West Somerset DLC. This is my first look at this. I haven't loaded it up at all yet until right now, so everything about this is completely new to me.
This is a Class 09 diesel-electric shunter used mainly for freight operations, but known to help with passenger procedures too. Let's take a look at the engine's starting and stopping procedures. Climb aboard to get started. Enter the cab through the door indicated.
Okay, so this is another iconic train on, in the history of sort of British railways. Don't see many of these around anymore.
Before anything else, set up the marker lights. Turn the main switch on the panel up there to on.
I might close the door before I do anything else. It doesn't seem to want to let me close the door. Okay, we'll just carry on with the door open. Loco, with these little windows to look out the side of.
Walk around the exterior of the locomotive and turn on all 4 marker lights.
Oh wow, we've got to go outside and turn them on manually as well. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Turn on the lights. There we go.
Great.
Marker lights
Climb
on.
back aboard the locomotive and sit down in the driver's seat.
Now we can close the door. There we go. Call it a seat. It's a stool.
To start the locomotive, hold the master key in the start position for at least 5 seconds.
Hold it for 5 seconds. Okay.
With the locomotive running, set the master key to the on position.
Set it to on. Okay.
The reverser lever determines the direction of travel. Set this into the forward position.
Waiting for the brakes to charge. I just can't read the gauges. They're all off there to the side. But you kind of need to sit here so you can see where you're going. Is this free or not? No, it's not free. This costs $19.99 on the UK store, so I would imagine on the American store you're talking $25. So it's not cheap. How long do these brakes take to charge? Oh, there we go.
Move the parking brake handle into the release position.
Parking brake into release.
Finally, to get going, set the throttle into position 1 for at least 5 seconds, and then set it to position 2.
Okay, so that's position 1. Position 2. Okay. Reach a speed of 10.
Great. The locomotive is on the move. To maintain a specific speed, set the throttle back to the off position.
Throttle off.
To bring the locomotive to a gentle stop, set the driver's brake to the service 30% position.
And if I can let me get 30, is it? Oh, no. 31's close enough. And we're going to stop all the points this time.
Take this basic training and apply it to further operations, and you'll do great.
And there we go, another trophy. WSR Gronk Graduate. Did I get Construction Simulator 2? Yes, I did, and I've been playing it this afternoon, recording some episodes. First of those should go live tomorrow. Right. That's it for the tutorials. Now we're on to the scenarios. I'm going to go to main menu so I can have a look at the scenarios first of all. I want to see exactly what they are. So we have a preparation work, which is for the Class 47, to the beach, and then Minehead Shunter, those are both Class 09s. Minehead Shunter Part 2, which is another Class 47, and then Land Cruise, which is a Class 47 as well. And again, you can see the degree of difficulty by the number of blocks that are shaded in. We're going to start off with something nice and simple. Oh, there's another one here as well. Finishing up. Let's start with Land Cruise, a nice simple one, I think. Alright, hopefully the picture quality is going to hold up while I stream tonight. Okay, so first get the train ready, then commence boarding and prepare for the final run of the day. So, get on. Master key. There we go. Reverse to forward. Do the headlights. Set the brakes to initial application. Unlock the doors. Okay. So we'll unlock left, and I want to take a look at the cameras here. Oh, look at these beautiful! Oh, we've unlocked the wrong side as well. I need to lock the left and unlock the right. Wrong button. There we go. Oh, look at that. And the windows slide down as the doors open as well. Look at these beautiful Mark I coaches. Is it going to let me get in the train? Not with the front cam. Maybe with a free cam I could get in here. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh, there's a lot of them as well. Big rake of coaches. How many are we pulling? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 coaches. Very pretty. And this is a fully working turntable as well. Really looking forward to having a mess around with that later. That should be a lot of fun. Right. Let's get a nice scenic shot. There we go. Right. Lock the doors. Objective complete. Release the brakes and apply power to get moving. Brakes released. And we are off and running. First stop, Dunster, which is 1.6 miles down the road. Yeah, these Mark I coaches, these are very authentic. This is what coaches used to look like back in the day, and they changed a little bit in terms of their design, and obviously the colours were different depending on the service or, you know, or the region. And back when we had a national railway, which was British Railways, it's now all been privatised. There is talk of it all becoming nationalised again, the government taking back control of the railways. Whether that's going to happen or not is anybody's guess. Certainly certain parts of our UK network are in more trouble than others. The East Coast Main Line has failed for the 3rd time in a decade and has been recently taken back under government control again. Yeah, as I say, 3rd time in the last decade that's happened. But whether the whole network will get renationalised or not is anybody's guess. The Labour government have said if they get back into power they will renationalise. The Conservatives have not said anything about that at all. Oh, you even get the beeping siren noise and the flashing lights as we go over the level crossing. That's so good. But yeah, this is a very, very authentic reconstruction of this particular stretch of Heritage Railway here in the UK. Right, we can get some speed up again. Accelerate up to 25 miles an hour. I did love seeing those plumes of smoke coming out the engine as the engine fires up when you really apply some extra power. classic single point signals as well. This looks really, really pretty. As usual, to try and maintain the integrity of the stream a little bit, I am streaming at a lower resolution, so I'm streaming at 720p as opposed to 1080. It just seems to help maintain the quality of the stream a bit better. But I am running this on 1080p on my Pro with super sampling as well, so it looks very crisp and very sharp on this. The Canadian game is here and wants me to honk the horn. There you go. A bit closer. I love that clickety-clack noise as well that these classic coaches make. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Alright, we're approaching our first stop and we have a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit approaching in just over 500 yards, so we're going to need to start to ease the brakes on a bit. Jesse's popped in there. Welcome to the stream, Jesse. Am I getting Construction Simulator 2? I've got it. I was playing it this afternoon, recording some footage, and that will be going live on the channel tomorrow. Well, this is definitely a slow speed service, this Heritage line. We were never going to be doing, breakneck speeds on this. I thought we'd be going a little faster than 25 miles an hour. Is it any different from the mobile version? I'm guessing you're talking about Construction Simulator 2. No, it's not, because Construction Simulator 2 on the consoles and the PC, actually, as Pocket Edition, is a direct port of the PC version. Sorry, of the mobile version. But it looks good, and it runs well. I haven't had any issues with it so far. Look at this classic old station design here. Single platform station. This does look good. Try and get a little bit more power just to get to the end of the platform a little bit quicker. We are bleeding speed on this 0.4% upgrade, uphill gradient. There we go. So let's unlock the doors. Unlock the right hand side. You know what, I think that may well become the thumbnail for our video here. That is a beautiful shot. Take a screenshot of that. Mark is in the stream. Hello, Mark. And he's joining us all the way from Michigan. Oh, which reminds me, anybody who is in North Carolina at the moment, please stay safe. Big storm rolling through, as I'm sure you're all aware. So yeah, just stay safe over the next couple of days until that storm has passed. Right, we're ready to lock the doors. There we go. And next station, off we go. The Blue Anchor. So we have a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up. Why is that? When we can do 15 now. Slow down to 10. Is it because of the level crossing? Might be. Hello to Armour Elite and Charlie and Haas as well. Canadian Gamer says the DLC is expensive. Yes, it is. But, you know, Train Sim has always and will always be an expensive game. They do spend a lot of time and effort and money recreating these things as authentically as they possibly can. And it's a small studio, and they need to recoup those costs, so they do that through expensive DLCs. That's the way it was on PC, and the way it's going to be on console as well. It's not going to be a cheap game to get all of the DLCs. It's going to be horrendously expensive. If Train Sim 2018 on PC is any indication, there'll be a lot of different packs available, and you know, they'll all cost a fair amount of money. So it looks as though we're going to be just plodding along here at around 10 miles an hour for this entire stretch for the next mile and a half, which is pretty much as far as it takes us to get to the station. So let's get our speed up to 10 so we can go a little bit faster. Well, they were ducks for a second, they're not. They're flowers. What flowers are they? Are they dandelions? Possibly. Oh, there we go, we've got some speed. Back up to 25 miles an hour again. I really hope we get a Steam expansion at some point in the future. I'd love to get some Steam trains on this. Will I be streaming Construction Simulator? No, but I will be running it as a long Let's Play series, and it starts tomorrow. Recorded the first couple of episodes earlier today. There's no denying this game is very, very pretty. Get a closer look inside some of our carriages, if we can. Oh, we are gaining speed. We're on a downhill gradient. I need to go to initial application of brakes to slow down. 0.6% downhill gradient. That's actually quite steep. Easing off a bit now. 0.5. And of course 0.5 doesn't sound steep, but it's steep for railways. Ideally you never want to go above a 2% gradient, or else you're going to put way too much strain on your engines. There we go, levelled off the flat ground again. Another little peek through the window. Do we have a buffet car with us? I don't think we will. We'll take a look. Oh. Maybe. That's a guard van, by the look of it. Yeah, there's a guard van there, look. Nice little coastal scene here. Now we're approaching the station. Okay, so let's turn the throttle off. And set the brakes to initial application. Got a red line coming up here, a red light, so I think that is an indicator that this is the last station stop. There's some really old, unrestored Mark I coaches here, look. In a terrible state of disrepair. Oh, we've stopped. Oh, look at the gradients. No wonder. Ooh. Okay, that's a bit of a weird little visual glitch that we saw with our speedo there. There is the classic British Railways crest. Throttle off. Still on a 0.4% upgrade, uphill gradient, so we will slowly lose a little bit of speed. Beautiful. Right, let's get those doors unlocked. And there we go, people getting off the train. Lovely. Any bets if I forget to slow down here today? Your confidence inspires me there, David. Thank you very much for that. Mark believes. Mark's a believer. Thank you, Mark. Right, I'm guessing once the loading passengers routine is finished, that will be the end of this particular scenario. It did say it was a shorter one. There's still people in there, look. Oops. And there's the West Somerset Railway logo on the side of the coach. Very pretty. That's a nice photo as well. I'm going to take a photo there, I think. Okay, lock the doors. Objective complete. Oh no, we are carrying on. Off to Washford as our next stop. And gradually pulling out of the station there. Despite a 50% throttle, it's still very slow acceleration. Oh, that's a gorgeous little shot there. There's so many great photos that I can get here from this. Deafening Wings, hello, how are you? I'm fine, and I'm enjoying the West Somerset Railway so far. This is my first look at it. So ease the throttle off. I've just noticed all the information on the side of my screen has disappeared. On the right hand side, it's not showing me my next signal or anything like that. The overlay is gone. Well, I think, you know, it's hard to be a 100% accurate. Oops. It's hard to be 100% accurate there, Armour Elite. You know, if wheel slip is going to be introduced, you know, I'm guessing they'll probably save that for when they do Steam. Then you'll need to really see some wheel slip. But you know, it's not very often you can actually see the wheels moving very clearly anyway. You tend to get a little bit of fuzz around them. Hi Chris, welcome to the stream. Are we accelerating? Very slowly. Let's increase the throttle a bit. I have no idea what my speedo requirements are going to be coming up. I'm assuming it's going to be 25 until we get close to the station. Beyond that, I don't know. I'm certainly behind schedule. We're a mile and a half away from Washford. I've been taking my time with this because I've been messing around with photos and looking at things. And so we're not running a particularly reliable timetable. But then I suppose you could say that that is providing the authentic British Railways experience of trains running behind schedule. Gradient here, as you can see. Ease the throttle down to 50. 0.9% uphill gradient. Now 1.2. This is a very steep hill. 1.4. losing speed. 1.5 now, the gradient. This hill's getting steeper. Do I think they'll do an update to Train Sim? What, as a standalone update? I'm sure that, you know, along with prepping the game for the West Somerset Rail, they will have done some things in there. I don't think there's a major need for an update at this point. Do I eat candy? Sometimes, yeah. Everyone does. There's very few people who never eat candy at all. Eat a bit here and there, but not much. Still on this 1.5% gradient. It's amazing, we're running at 85% throttle. Now I'm going to put it at full and we're still not really gaining speed. So I get the feeling we're going to start going downhill again soon. Keeping an eye on that gradient meter. Waiting for it to ease off. Oh, we're pulling in towards the station actually. We need to slow down. Oh, there we go. There's my speed thing. Look, it's just popped back up. Let's speed 10 miles an hour in 1.3 miles. Still on that climb as well. I was looking to ease the throttle back, and I can't really at the moment. Okay, the gradient is easing off. Let's kill the throttle. And you can see straight away our speed is just dropping. Oh, now we've got a downhill gradient. Now we've got to be careful. So let's apply the brakes. Driver like I stole it. There we go. Okay, let's get these doors unlocked. What do I think should be the next DLC for Railway Empire, and should they add more locomotives? You're asking me about American railways, which I really don't know a huge amount, so unless they want to move away from sort of the Americas, you know, there and move to Europe, then I really couldn't say what locomotives they could or should add in, because I don't know enough about historical American steam. Now, if they were to do something like that but set in the UK, then I could say straight away a whole list of engines that they could look at adding in, but I don't think they have any plans to do that, so like I said, I can't really advise what's going to be best to add into the game for a period of history that I know practically nothing about. Off we go to watch it. We have not long to get there. throttle on full. Let's try and get a bit of grunt going. Nice little shunting yard just here. Ooh. Got that 1.1 gradient, so I'm going to ease the throttle off because we're naturally going to accelerate going down this hill. The points for in the right corner. That's just my to indicate my driver level. As yet, there doesn't seem to be any point or purpose to having a driver level, other than, you know, a prestige kind of thing. I don't know if they plan to change that in the future. But it's just for, you know, in-game achievements that don't go towards trophies as far as I can tell. Running a very steep downhill gradient now, 1.4% on the way down. So we're definitely on the other side of the hill. And I'm finding the initial application here is actually holding me at the right kind of speed. Little farm scene around here by the look of it. I wonder what tractor that is. Oh, we are going way too fast. I can't tell. I'm trying to look at the tractor and I need to be paying attention to this. I might have to come back on foot and explore that area. See if I can figure out what brand of tractor that's supposed to be. So we should pick up a little bit more speed again. I've got throttle on. Now it's cleared us. Look, we can go back into 25 again. That's frustrating. I'll have to slow down just for that tiny little bit and then speed up again. You do hear the engine just powering up a bit there. Again, still on a downhill gradient. Let's put the brakes onto initial application so we don't speed. My farm sim brain overrode my chain sim brain. Yeah, it kind of did. I was just like, I'm curious. Is that a John Deere? You see John Deere's pop up, you know, or fake versions of John Deere pop up in just about every game out there. Because it is such an iconic brand. So whenever you see a random tractor when you're driving down the road, it's usually green and yellow. And I wanted to see if that was the same or if it was a different brand. Emma's Blogging and Pets, welcome to the stream. Did I buy this game on disc or just download? I got a digital download. I actually got this from Dovetail. They sent me a code so that I could do some live streaming for you guys. And they sent me a code to get it digitally off the store. But I very rarely buy games on disc these days anyway. If ever I'm going to get a game, it's almost always a digital download. I just find it easier. I have a little 2TB external hard drive plugged in and install all my games on that, apart from a couple of key games which I need for my Let's Play stuff, and those I transfer onto my hard drive. So Farm Sim World, no, it's not Farm Sim World, Train Sim World, Farming Simulator 17, City Skylines, PS4 games. Construction Simulator 2, I need to move that across to the hard drive. It's the console hard drive. It's the other one. You know, I can't remember what the other game is. There's another one that I've transferred across as well, and I can't remember what that is now. But yeah, almost everything I buy is a digital download these days. But this particular DLC, this particular thing I'm running right now, this is a DLC for the Train Sim world, and you can only get that as a digital download. You can't buy the expansion, the content on disc. You can only buy the main game on disc. You can actually save, a bit of cash buying disc. Well, generally you can. When you buy on the PlayStation Store, especially at release, it's always full price. It's very rare you get discounts going into the launch of a game. Occasionally you might get a PlayStation Plus 10% discount for pre-ordering, depending on the game. I've had that with 1 or 2 games in the past where I pre-ordered and got 10% off. Mudrunner was an example of that. When I pre-ordered Mudrunner, I got that 10% off for pre-ordering because I'm a PlayStation Plus member. But generally, yeah, you're talking full price. And if you go and get your games on disc from, say, Amazon, you can usually get them anything up to a tenner cheaper, depending on the title. Up to £10 cheaper than you can get it, as a digital download. So discs do make sense still in this day and age. Plus, you can trade in a disc when you're fed up with the game, or if you're unsure, you buy it, you don't like it, you can take it back and get a trade in, or if you're really lucky, get your money back. You can't do that with a digital download. You own a digital download, that's it. There's no return policy on those. Seems like nice scenery. Yeah, this is a recreation of a genuine heritage railway here in the UK, in West Somerset. So they've tried to, as faithfully as they can, recreate a genuine bit of British history that still runs passenger services as a tourist attraction. At some point I am going to have to go down to West Somerset and try and ride on this service. The team that makes this game is actually here in the UK. They're based here in the UK, and they went to West Somerset Railway and had a little booth set up on one of the stations. I don't know which one, but they had a demo set up at one of the stations for people to play, the expansion on the day it was launched, which I think is really cool. Alright, let's get those doors unlocked. Yes, Jurassic World, that's the game, thank you Marcel. That's the other game that I transferred off my portable onto my main hard drive. And the reason I do that is because my Pro has a 1TB internal drive, but I do a lot of recording, and it records in 1080p, whereas a standard PS4 records in 720. So it's a higher resolution, so the videos I do take up more memory, and then with the rendering and editing and everything, I have to sometimes duplicate a project to be able to put logos and stuff on it. So I keep my hard drive pretty much uncluttered so that I can keep storing my video footage on there without the risk of running out of recording space. Whereas if I only had, say, 50 gig in total of available space, then I would run out of that at some point in the middle of recording. Guaranteed. Oh, we still have another station to go to. Doniford. Let's release the brakes. Apply the throttle. This was only 0.8 miles down the road. go too fast again. Although we have got an uphill gradient, so that's going to start bleeding off again in a moment. Oh, I still miss the platforms, Emma. Yeah, it still happens. You know, it's become a running gag among my viewers that you know, it's place your bets as to whether I'll actually stop on time at the platform. Every now and again, I'll have a few videos where it looks like I've got on top of it and I'm running fine, and then the next time I do a live stream, I just overshoot the station completely. You know, like my last one when I was running the German DLC or the German content, just completely overshot several stations there. All stopped really short. I really struggled on that one. So yeah, it's a tough thing to get right every time. It takes practice. And it's hard trying to pay attention to everything when you're also trying to read comments off the screen as well. You look away to read the comments, and you look back at the screen, and all of a sudden you're way closer to the platforms than you thought you were, and it's too late to get those brakes slammed on. Adamas, is the DLC worth the money? It's hard to say. I mean, this is my first look at it, and this is our first scenario, so I haven't experienced enough of it yet to say, is it worth 20 quid? On the face of it, I would say, I don't know. It's, like I said, it's really hard to say. This is the kind of game where you have to really enjoy it to get the most out of it. You have to, you know, have some kind of interest in driving a train or trains in general, I think, to really get the most out of this game. And if you're not enjoying the game a lot, you know, you don't have a real passion for the game, then I would say it's not probably worth buying the DLC, because it's not going to do anything different than the main game already doesn't do. It's just going to have, you know, a couple of different trains and a different location, but beyond that it's going to be essentially the same game that you're umming and ahhing about in the first place. So if you're in that situation, I would say it's not worth buying. But if you like the game, then it's a little pricey, but you know, potentially it could be worth the money. Like I said, I haven't played enough of it to say definitively whether or not I think £20 is too steep, you know, to even consider it at this price. I'm having fun with it, but I've only been playing for an hour on this so far. We've done a couple of the first looks, you know, the basic introductions to the two locos, and this is the first scenario, so I really haven't spent enough time with this to say whether or not it's definitely worth buying at 20 quid. Slightly overshot there. This platform's so long, half the coaches can't even get on, look, so I don't feel too bad about slightly overshooting with the loco. How big is the map? Let's take a look. I think it's a 24-mile stretch. So this is where we started, I believe. Down here, I think. And that's where we are. Or did we start over here? No, we started here, I think. Went through that station, through there, around, and that's where we are now. So yeah, I think we're about halfway down the line. It is quite a big route in the sense that, you know, it's a slow route, so you're not going to be bombing along at top speed. I doubt you'll ever hit top speed on this. Brakes first. We are very late. Look, we're supposed to be stopping at Willerton at 17:56. It's already 17:59, so we are way behind schedule. But I think it's a 24-mile stretch. I think. It's around 20 miles, I'm sure of that much. Ian, welcome to the stream. Well, I never played the old train sim on Microsoft. The old Microsoft train sim, never played that. So, you know, not having a PC, you know, I've missed out on a lot of simulation games over the years. And it's just great that they're starting to come to console in increasing regularity. Would be so good if they made a DLC for Devon and Plymouth area. I'm guessing that's your area, I'd guess. Yeah, there's loads of areas they could do. I would love to see a recreation of the old Great Central Railway. It doesn't exist for the most part anymore. There's a little bit of the Great Central actually that's still up and running. There's two parts of it. There's one in Leicestershire and there's one in Loughborough. And there is a project going on at the moment to try and connect the two parts. There's funding going on to rejoin those two different sections together and turn it into a much longer stretch of railway, which would be great because again it's like this. It's a heritage line, but it runs steam. So if ever that actually gets completely up and running and underway, and they do rebuild that bridge connection and join those two sections up, I would love that to then become a pack for this. You know, a 20-mile stretch with steam locos of heritage railway. That would be fantastic. I don't want to go too much faster because we have got a 10-mile-an-hour zone coming up in just 50 yards. Slight uphill gradient. There's the 10 zone. And a red signal. So that suggests that we may be coming to the end of the line for this particular scenario. Perhaps we thought that last time we got a red signal. It didn't happen. Is it pretty hard to run in cab only? No, it's trickier if you want to, you know, drive using the actual physical controls in the cab, you know, as opposed to using the shortcuts on the D-pad, because you have to constantly remember where things are and make sure you move them. In terms of driving in first person, no, it's not too tricky to do that. I generally tend to ride in external though because it's prettier to look at. So, you know, when I'm live streaming, you know, I like to, rather than just spending the entire, you know, hour or 2 or 3 hours that I do live streaming, rather than just having that as your view, I like to pan the camera around and show you the externals and everything that's going on outside, just because it breaks up the monotony of just staring out of a small glass window for the entire 3 hours that I stream for. Stop too soon. Never mind. Messed up. But we'll run, if we've got another station, we'll run to the next station like this. A couple of things just fell over off one of my shelves there. Sorry about that little clatter of noise there. Has the game had any patches yet? Not that I know of. I don't remember downloading an update for this. Unless one's automatically updated in the background that I've been unaware of. we go. Okay, so ooh, 5.6 miles to the next stop. Brakes first. You thought that noise was your 3-year-old son throwing something? No, it was me. Just something just fell off my sort of shelving unit just across the room. So that's what you heard clattering. This game would be great as a VR game. Yes, I would love this to have VR support, because that would really make me think about getting a VR headset in the future. There have been a couple of games when I've ummed and ahed about it, but this and Farming Sim would be a great reason to get VR. And of course, neither of those games have VR support. Yeah, this game is actually pretty easy to drive in first-person mode, unless you want to manually control all of these yourself, and then it gets a little bit trickier. But you can just drive like this, and you can see I'm not looking or accessing the controls, but I can change my throttle, and you can see it rotating there using the shortcut buttons on my DualShock. Same with brakes. I don't have to manually drive using these controllers in here if I don't want to. That certainly adds more of a challenge when you're driving in first person, if you want to only use those. But if you use the actual triggers on your DualShock for your accelerating and braking, it makes it much easier, and driving in first person is a doddle. It really is. It's just, it becomes a little bit more boring, because, or at least for a viewing audience, because you're not seeing much of the outside world. This is your potential view for hours and hours and hours, potentially. So it's nice to mix things up a bit and show the train pulling into the station, show the doors opening and closing. Breaks up the monotony of just looking at the same thing constantly. Damn it, I forgot to turn off notifications, so you're going to get another little black box popping up on the screen. Well, you've probably already seen it. Had a couple already when I got trophies. I'll do that when we get to the next station. I'll turn off notifications. It's 75% throttle, because we're actually losing speed going up this 1.1% gradient. That's miles per hour. This loco will do 100, around 100 miles an hour. Not on this stretch of railway it won't, but not unless you just completely ignore the speed rules, and then I don't know what would happen. You might end up derailing. I've only derailed once so far, when I drove into the buffers at the end of a platform with an HST at Paddington. I went a little too hot, couldn't slow down in time, hit the buffers, and derailed the train. But I was in first person like this at the time, so the camera just kind of lurched a bit, and then that was it. Instant fail, screen went to black, and I never got to see the actual physical after effect of what the train looked like. Maybe next time I do a live stream, I might, be deliberately reckless and see what happens. See if we can derail a train and see what happens if it bumps off the track. Nicholson Farm has joined the chat. Welcome. .95 is slow for trains these days. Well, I suppose it depends on where you are in the country and which country you're in. But you know, Japan, the bullet train does 200 miles an hour. You know, the TGV in France does over 100 miles an hour. The ice trains in Germany go that fast. They're very, very fast trains. The UK is building a high-speed network at the moment for trains to run very, very fast, but yeah, 85, 95, not that fast anymore. Not really. Hasn't been for a long time either. I mean, the bullet trains have been around for, I don't know what, a couple of decades now, since their first incarnation. Or getting close to. Yeah, these little twisty commuter lines, I mean, this is a 25 mile an hour line because it's a heritage line. So it's a very short line, in the grand scheme of things. It's a day trip, to come and visit a heritage line. So if the train whooshes down the line at 80 miles an hour, you're at your destination really quickly, and that's it. End of an experience. What was the point? If it goes along at a very slow, gradual speed, you get to really take everything in and appreciate, the surroundings and the mode of transport. Just get a little bit more speed. Still got that uphill gradient again. Look, 1% at the moment. And going up 1.1%. The sun is setting as well. By the look of it, it is looking like it's getting a little darker outside. This is the last service of the day, after all. Still we climb the hill. Still we're not closing in on that 25 miles an hour. Let's put the throttle up to full. Now you can hear the engine whirring away in the background there. We still have 3 miles to go to our next stop, and we need to be there in under 2 minutes. Which there's no way in hell we're going to do. But I don't care about times on this. I'm just enjoying the ride on this first run here in West Somerset. Looks like we're going straight through this station here. Station is this? Stogummer. Someone's waiting for a train that ain't stopping. Oh, look at the gradient now, 1.2%. Getting, and 1.5, it's getting steeper again. Easing off 1%. Still 2.5 miles to go. We need to be where we're supposed to be in 5 seconds. To go. Yeah, we're going to be very late. Any good games coming out soon? Off the top of my head, no. Well, it depends on what sort of game you're looking for, but anything that I'm thinking of adding to the channel at the moment, no. I'm looking forward to Fire Pro Wrestling, which comes out in 2 weeks. It's already out in America, came out at the end of August, but it doesn't come out until September 28th here in the UK or Europe. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that, just because I remember playing the original on the Super Nintendo many, many years ago. Had a lot of fun with that game, and I intend to have a lot of fun with that again. I don't know if I'll ever stick that on the channel. Probably not. Construction Simulator 2 came out not yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I recorded a load of footage for that earlier today. That'll go onto the channel for the first time tomorrow. Beyond that, Spin Tires DLC comes out on October 23rd. Don't know the price of that yet. Bus Simulator is one for the future, but that doesn't come out till next year. That's all I know at the moment. So it comes out in 2019. Don't even know what quarter yet. FS19 obviously is November 20th this year. That's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. There's no other games on my immediate radar for the channel. I find it hard to get on time. Are there any tips to getting on time? Try and learn your shortcuts, so you know which buttons to press to open your doors. Make sure your brakes are prepped and ready while your passengers are loading, so that you can release them very quickly and get your throttle underway as soon as you're done at a station. Learn the route, so you know where your slow down points are, so you can slow down at the right point and get your speed back up as quickly as you can again. That's the best thing I can suggest, really. Mark, that figure that's going up in the top right corner, that's points. That's just my profile points. It just shows how much I've played, on a particular route. And it just randomly goes up, every few hundred meters. It goes up a bit. It goes up an extra 50 points or so. It's kind of like a scoreboard kind of thing, but a personal kind of thing. I don't think there's online leaderboards to compare yourself against. It doesn't, go towards trophy progress as far as I can tell. It's just there. It doesn't really do that much. Forza 4, yeah, that's an Xbox game. I'm a PS4 gamer, so never played Forza. Well, tell a lie. I played the original Forza on the original Xbox when I was visiting a relative who had an Xbox, but yeah, I've never owned an Xbox, so I've never owned Forza. And so I don't tend to follow, Forza releases, because it's a game that is not going to come to PlayStation. Truck Sim, yes, I missed that one. I forgot that one on the list. That's because I still don't know when this year that game is coming out. I know it is coming out this year. I just don't know when. They still haven't announced it. It could be good, it could be terrible. Right now it's anybody's guess. It is published by Tedesco, and if the only thing I have in terms of a reference point from Tedesco was Real Farm, which was terrible. So if it's like Real Farm, it's going to be awful. I think it's a different studio that's actually making the game, and Tedesco are just the publishers, in which case it could be a much better game, but I honestly don't know. They had a little bit of footage floating around at Gamescom, not a lot, and there's still, as I say, no release information yet, other than it's coming out sometime towards the end of this year. Alright, we are switching points to get onto the left platform here. Still on an uphill gradient. Now, as we pull into the station, we're finally levelling off. And now I can ease the throttle off completely. Brakes on initial application. Actually, I'll take brakes off because we're going to slow down too fast otherwise. Which DLC is Spin Tires? It's the American Wildlands expansion. A new map set in the States with American branded equipment, so Hummer, Chevy, Chrysler, I think possibly. Ford was apparently supposed to be in it, but it's now looking like Ford has withdrawn. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. When they made the initial announcement, there were 9 new vehicles. There might be a licensing issue. And yeah, that comes out on, as I say, October 23rd. Right, let's go back to external view. Again, a very, very pretty shot. I'm going to take another screenshot here. Try and get my cursor lined up with a white line to hide it as best I can. There we go. And I did say I was going to turn off notifications, so bear with me a second. I forgot to do this, so if I go into my settings, notifications, turn off pop-up notifications. There we go. So we shouldn't get interrupted by any more notifications popping up on the screen. Let's lock the doors. Set the brakes. Turn on the throttle. And we have 3 minutes to get to Bishop's Slydard, which is 3.7 miles away. Again, I'm not going to do that, but hopefully we won't be quite as late this time. By the bridge, aren't we? Get as close as we can to the side of the train there. Oh, we've got a downhill gradient of 1.2. I better put my brakes on initial, otherwise we will accelerate out of control. I do love those shadows going down the side of the engine like that from the trees. Very cool. Signal. Is this sim okay on PS4? I can't speak to the standard PS4, but this is a Pro and it runs absolutely fine on the PS4 Pro. You get the odd little glitch here and there, but nothing game breaking. Some speed back up again. I do like the suspension as well. You can just see the train is actually rocking up and down on the suspension there. That's very cool. Let's zoom in on that if we can. Yeah, look at the bogie moving up and down. You can see it with the carriage as well. That's awesome. Never noticed that little detail before. We see movement between the carriages. We do. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I love that. Fantastic. That's made my day, that has, that little extra detail that I've never spotted before. So is it just for PS4 Pro? No, you can play this on regular PS4, you can play it on a regular Xbox, but I would imagine that it would probably run and look perhaps a little bit better on the Pro or the Xbox One X. Games generally do tend to. I know that City Skylines runs better on a Pro than it does against the standard PS4, just because it has more memory, so it can process things and run a bit faster. Your city can get bigger before it starts to suffer with frame rate issues. It's essentially like having a mid-range and a high-end PC. Obviously the comparison is subjective, but if you take that scenario, you have a game that you run on a mid-range PC and you can only run it on certain settings for it to run smoothly. On a high-end PC, you can increase those settings for it, and it will still run smoothly because you have more memory, more graphical power available to you. It's exactly the same with a standard PS4 and a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One and the One X. They are just upgraded versions of the same software, so they can run higher levels of graphics and have more memory available to them to speed processing as well. Right, what are we doing time-wise? Oh, we are. We're still very late. We're still 2 miles away. We're not pulling this time back unless we deliberately speed. So I'm going to turn the brakes off completely and just see how fast we go. Try and claw back a little bit of this time, perhaps. Oh, there we go. We're being a bit naughty. Picking up speed because we're on this downhill gradient. Can you alter your settings? There's a few things you can change, but nothing substantial. It's mainly just control settings that you can change. Right, it's a little bit too fast. I'm worried that I'm going to end up failing this objective. I tell you what, this is only 35 miles an hour, but in this view it feels faster. It feels like I'm doing like 60 or maybe more. Just bringing that down to a more manageable level. The gradient dropped for a second, it's increasing again. Let's go look at our surroundings. I hear the birds chirping away in the background as well. Nice little bridge there. Lovely stuff. Now we've got some sheep. Time to slow the train down again. Big solar panel farm just here. And we got some cows as well. Real little farm going on over here. Watch out for the fat controller. I haven't thought about Thomas the Tank Engine for many, many years, so thank you for that. Can you change view? Yes, you can. I've got this set on the front cam at the moment, but I can still move around quite a lot. It just centres the camera at the start, at the front end of the train. You've got one for the rear camera, the rear of the train. Again, you can be quite movable with that. You also have boom cams, which are fixed at a front point, and then you can kind of swing those around a little bit left and right for the front of the train or the back of the train. There's a free cam where you can just go wherever you want to with the camera, but it won't follow the train, so you have to be very wary of that. And there is an internal camera as well, so you can actually sit and ride in the cab. Getting bounced through the bridge there. It's clumsy. Just ever so gradually picking up speed here, even though our throttle is off because we're on a very, very, very slight downhill gradient. I think this might be the final stop. And the reason I think that is because we have a Class 09 just there, which to me suggests that's there to shunt the coaches ready for the return journey. So I think this is the final stop here at Bishop's Lydeard. How much does the sim cost? You know what, I can't remember the actual price of the game itself. I think it was $39.99 UK price. So, you know, add an extra sort of $5 to $10 for the States. And then there's a premium version, which is an extra fiver, which has a different American logo added in there, which is, I think, just a reskin of the CRX that's in there, or CSX, sorry. That's the only difference between standard and the premium. It's just, I think, a different skin for one of the one of the logos. And then this DLC here, which came out a couple of days ago, is £20. And there we go, we have completed our first one, and yes, very, very late for half of the service there. So we were fine up until Washford, and then we kind of failed everything after that. Just too slow on the service. Okay, so let's go back to the main menu. We'll pick a Class 09's scenario. We'll do that, and then that'll be the end of our live stream tonight. So, scenarios. Minehead Shunter, I think, is going to be the one. Yeah, this one here. How come there are no cars moving when I do cam on the bridges? No, this is a train simulator rather than a car simulator. So you add in moving traffic into this as well. It's just more processing that has to be done that doesn't really do anything to the game. You know, you don't drive near roads that often. So it just eats up memory and processing power that could be put to use on this. So I don't mind the fact that there's no traffic. You do get other trains, obviously not on this particular service here, but you do get other trains running on the lines while you're operating them, and it's a question of what would you rather have? Would you rather have other trains running, or would you rather have cars running and no trains? I know which one I would rather have. Do the marker lights by hand, haven't we? Forgot about that. There we go. Sit back down again. Reverse to forward. And sound the horn twice. Once we've released the brakes. Oh, love it. I love these old, locos as well, because they had piston drive on their wheels as well, even though they were diesels. Alright, take it easy, Ian. Thanks for stopping by. Aidan asks, how many different trains are in the game? In the main game, again, depending on whether you've got the CSX bonus logo from the premium or not, we'll assume that we're on the standard edition here. You've got 3 trains on the UK part of it. So Train Sim World gives you the Great Western Pack, it gives you the NEC New York Pack, and it gives you the S-Bahn Pack for Germany. Now, Germany Pack has just one train, which is the EMU. The Great Western Pack gives you 3 trains. It gives you a Class 43 HST, it gives you a Class 166 DMU, and it gives you a Class 66 big heavy-duty freight train, and which there are 2 skins for that. So there's the EWS livery and the DB Schenker livery. And then for the American pack, you've got the CSX loco, and you've got the Amtrak EMU. So that's 6 trains in total, and then you get 2 more with this DLC. You get the Class 09 that we're driving right now, and you get the Class 47 just there that we've just been driving. Let's get some more speed up. So we've got 5 miles to go to get to Washford. Love it. I want to watch these pistons going up and down, see how smooth this motion is. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Right, now we can get some speed going. Let's get throttle up to 3. Not a particularly fast locomotive. These they're never designed for high speeds. They're shunters. But you can see it has got a theoretical top speed of 50. I think the actual top speed of this is somewhere, just around the 40 to 45 mark, and then the extra is just in case you're going down a hill, I think. There's us with our high-vis jacket on, staring out that little front window, and we can see where we're going. We're going to have to slow right down in a moment. We've got a 5 mile an hour zone coming up. Seriously impressed with the reflection on the side of the train as well, with the paint job reflecting the trees and bushes as we move past them. Really does look very, very good. Look at that. Look at that for a reflection, that's awesome. speed down for that 5 mile an hour zone. Doesn't look as though we have a time limit on this one. We just have to get there. Slight uphill gradient now as well, just creeping up from 0 to 0.1 to 0.2, now 0.4. Now 0.5. The hill's getting steeper, we're going to need to increase the throttle a bit. I really don't know why we have this 5 mile an hour speed limit coming up. Let's keep an eye on the track, see if we can figure out why that's as far forward as I can go. No, Aiden, it's not money in the top right corner, it's just a score based on how I'm doing on the challenge. It doesn't really seem to do anything other than go into my experience level at the end, which is just for personal records. Apparently it doesn't tie into the gameplay much in any way, shape or form as far as I can tell. See, we have a 25 zone, but we're about to hit that 5 mile an hour zone just there, look. I think it's just for this level crossing here. That's the reason why it's 5 miles an hour. Oops, getting bumped by scenery. Right, we're through. Let's get the throttle back up again. I'm going to ride in cab for a bit with this one, I think. Oh, I've switched sides. I'm over here now. Alright, let's have a look at other internal cameras. Oh, you can put your head out as well. That's cool. Stick your head out the window. Oh, I like that. Let's go back to the side we were on. Let's go to the left and we'll go left head out. There we go. $10 mile an hour zone coming up again for the next level crossing. No barriers on that one. Maybe that's why the speed limit is there, because there's no barriers. Speed up again now. So this is the traditional view if we're sat on our little stool. Let's open the window, get some fresh air. And that's our little viewpoint ahead, down the side of the engine like that. So how far away are we from our objective? 3.3 miles. Got 15 zone coming up in 1.3. This is definitely a much more serenely paced DLC. 25 mile an hour is your maximum speed, whichever train you're using by the look of it. are getting that kind of up and down feel in the cab. You do see the viewpoint sort of move a little bit. The cab is kind of rocking a little bit as we go over the rails. So that's a nice little touch. Actually going a little bit too fast. I want a downhill gradient, that's why. Let's ease the throttle off. And we'll stand by with the brakes if we need to. I don't mind being 8 mile an hour over the speed. But if it continues to pick up, we'll have to apply the brakes a little bit. Yeah, there we go, we're just naturally bleeding that speed off a little bit. It's almost like we've still got a brake switched on. We've got our direct brake there. That's our horn. Reverser, throttle. Odd. Oh, we need to slow down. Got our service brakes on a bit. Coming up to 15 zone. Just gradually bleed that speed off. 1% application of brake. We've got plenty of time to lose 5 miles an hour. That's a lovely, lovely little coastal view there. Seeing the beach and the sea. Uphill gradient, so we're going to bleed some speed again. Brakes are off now. I have to put the throttle on a bit just to counterbalance that gradient. Back to the external cameras again. We're still losing speed. The gradient's getting steeper as well. 0.1 or 0.9 now, 1.1. Over the points as we approach the station. We're going straight through this. We are still 2 miles away from our objective. And I must say, I wonder if we will actually see a 47 with the Raker coaches coming by while we're running the Shunter. That would be cool. Let's have a look on the line, actually, see if there's anything else moving on here. So that's where we are. Are there any other trains running? I don't think there will be, because it's single track most of the way. No, it's just got some coaches there that we're probably going to need to shunt. Nothing ahead of us. We can get the speed back up again. this is definitely a very, very pretty DLC. You can't deny that. I mean, it's a slow-moving one, as we've said. You know, you can only go a maximum of 25 miles an hour if you want to stick to the speed limits. But it's so serene, it's so peaceful, it's so relaxing. This is a wonderful little route. Really enjoying this so far. Gradient that we're going to have to fight against, so we're going to have to manually push our throttle a bit higher from time to time. .4% is a pretty steep gradient. It's going to be pretty much like this all the way around to the station. Now it's only as we approach the station it's going to start to level off a little bit. Stuff. Right, well, while we're just kind of approaching the station, I will hopefully be doing some more live streaming tomorrow, and I'm going to be streaming some Jurassic World. I'm going to be trying on the challenge mode, seeing how well I can do with that. There is a challenge. The easy challenge has a completion time target of 3 hours, so we're going to be having a crack at that, seeing if I can complete the easy challenge in 3 hours or less. So do make sure you tune in for that. I'm not entirely sure what time I'll be going live. Probably about the same time as I did tonight, so at 9 PM GMT. I will obviously post details on my Facebook page and also on my Twitter. So if you want to make sure you are aware of exactly when I'm going to stream tomorrow, pay attention to my Facebook page or my Twitter account, or both. Links will be put into the video description once this goes live on YouTube, but you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/JimBotPlaysGames. It's a Facebook page. And you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/JBPG. My full Twitter handle. Bear with me. JBPG_JimBot. That is my Twitter handle. So make sure you pay attention to either of those for updates and times as to when I actually do go live for a live stream. And Twitter will automatically send you a notification when I go live as well, as will YouTube. So you could always click the bell on the channel if you're not subscribed, or if you are subscribed, click on the bell to change your notification settings, and that way you'll be able to know exactly when I go live with a video or with a live stream. Let's turn the throttle off, brakes on. Going to overshoot a little bit. Yep, we're going to have to change the points, I'm sure of that much. I might need to put this into reverse. I will. Camera mode, driver mode, reverse. Release the brakes. Just crawl back just a little bit more, just so we can get onto the objective marker, because I reckon we're going to have to flip these points. There we go. Yeah, I thought as much. Okay, let's go in. We can do this with a, with a camera. We don't have to get out, but I'm going to. So, let's open the door, jump down. There we go. Did we move the points? I don't think we did we? Set any point work to navigate the yard. Okay, that looks to be my objective there. Yes, it is. So let's check these points. They're good. They're not. Let's switch those. There we go. They're good. Brakes off. Throttle on. Oh, throttle off. I need to change the reverser back into forward. There we go. And let's start shunting. Omar asks, is the CSX train in the UK train game? The CSX is available. You can only use it on the American content, but yes, Train Sim World contains the American content, the UK content, and the Germany content. Those three packs are all part of Train Sim World, and the CSX is in the American pack. So if you go to the American section, you can use the CSX, or you can use the Amtrak. Entirely up to you which one of those you want to use. Welcome, Cookie Great. Thanks for popping in. Mr. Water100 said he'd just come across the channel and thought he'd take a look. West Somerset DLC looks stunning. Yes, I agree. It does look fantastic. I've only spent a very little bit of time on this tonight. About 2 hours so far, and I'm loving it so far. It's very slow moving, very slow paced, it's very serene. 25 miles an hour is your maximum speed limit on any part of the line, but it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. As indicated. Just going to need to drive up to these. It's got a nice good side-on shot there. Okay, I think we're coupled. Let's put this into reverse. No, we're not coupled. Okay. Why are we not coupled? I am on the right. Yeah, this is the one I need to couple up to. Okay, maybe I have to manually collect hoses or something. So let's put the reverser back into forward. Just throttle forward a little bit, nice and slow. Throttle off. Let's put a brake on. Do I need to actually manually connect anything? Ah, yes, there we go. I just saw it pop up. Manual coupling uncoupled. Click to couple. There we go. Fantastic. So we obviously we have a different type of coupler because it's a different type of loco. So if I climb up the ladder here, will it let me see? No. Can I duck down and climb in? Yes, there you go. You can see we're not using the hook, we're using the Buckeye here. It's a different coupling type. That's why it wasn't automatically coupling up. Let's close the door. Sit down. Stop on the second siding. So, camera mode. Okay. So I want my reverser in reverse. Brakes off. Backflip Sean, welcome to the conversation in the chat. How are you tonight? And Cowsco Moon as well. And Pecky. Martin has turned up. Does sound like one of my brakes is on still. Engineer right. Yeah, driver's brake is in first application. No wonder. I need to turn throttle off. Probably need to actually put my first application of brakes on as well. Can't see where I'm going. Need to go a little bit further forward. We need to clear the points, no doubt, so that we can back up and collect the second rake of the second pair of carriages. Connect those up to this, and then take the whole lot back to the station where we came from. That would be my guess. So yes, indeed, look, couple as indicated. Reverser into forward, let's change the points. So we need to switch those and switch those. No. There we go. So now we're coupled up the right way. So remove the brakes. points should be set. They are. Excellent. And hopefully these we can just drive up to the back of them and then auto-couple. That's the way it should go with these particular types of pull together as soon as we push them together, using the standard kind of hook grapples. Slow down. There we go, we are coupled up. Haul these back to Minehead for the demonstration, as expected. Okay, so, reverser into reverse. Brakes off. And back to Minehead we go, with a rake of 5 coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. It's the little details that I like. The fact that we have this fence in position between the passenger line and the shunting platforms. Oh, excuse me. You've got these old foot gates here. Are no longer in service, but they've kept them for historical purposes. I love that. I love the history that you can find and see in this. Let's get a bit more throttle. Have we heard the lighter? Oh, god damn it, yet. The lighter's been heard, I think. I've used it, whether it's been heard or not doesn't matter. There hasn't been a god damn it yet, though. At least I don't think so. Right, we have a 0.8 gradient, so I don't need to go overly fast with the throttle, because gravity will just help us out here. We should very quickly reach 25 miles an hour. In fact, I could probably actually just turn the throttle off completely. Just let, as I say, let gravity do its thing. Alright, take it easy, Aidan. Thanks for stopping by. This is a genuine heritage railway here in the UK, Cowscope. So this is what remains of an existing line from old days of railways that has been restored and kept running as a heritage line, like a tourist attraction kind of thing. And you can actually come down here in real life and ride these ride this service. Say it's a heritage passenger service. am I liking the new DLC? So far, I'm loving it. So far, I'm absolutely loving it. It's very slow paced compared to some of the other sort of routes that we can take. So, maximum speed of 25 miles an hour is permitted. Obviously, we can physically go faster if we want to ignore the speed limits, but you know, the limit of the line is 25 miles an hour. So it's a very slow pace, very gradual, nice and relaxing journey. Will I be playing Ruus Ignored when it comes to the PS4? Yes, I will. I'm looking to get all of the expansions for this as they come out. You know, so far Dovetail have been very good to me. They gave me the game for free, and they gave me this particular DLC for free as well. So a big thank you to them. And I'm hopeful that that will continue as further expansions come out. But I will buy them if necessary if I can't get them from Dovetail. And I do have intentions to, as I say, get all of the DLCs that come out for this, because this is a game that I enjoy. It's a nice game. I enjoy it. There's definitely an audience of people that like to watch it as well. So it's a perfect combination. You know, people want to see it. I want to play it. Let's do a live stream. Remove our brake application there, now that the gradient is flattening out. And again, we saw the height variance between the locos and the carriages. You can see it again here, look. You can see how they are moving up and down against each other. I like to see that. That's a very nice little extra touch. Didn't need to be there, but it is. I really appreciate that. Okay, 10 mile an hour zone coming up for the level crossing. That's the only weird thing. Look, we're sat on the stool, we're going in reverse, but we're looking out the front window. That's something that could do with being, you know, fixed. Is when we're reversing, we actually look out that window there. That's something they'll need to work on, I think. Right, we need to slow down. Oh no, it's 10 for a station we're passing through by the look of it, because of points. Is the game digital or disc? My copy of the game is digital. You can get the game on disc from retailers or somewhere like Amazon if you want to. Obviously you can get it as a digital download off the store, you know, be it PlayStation or Xbox. The DLC will be digital only, unless they bundle it in. Well, even then, I imagine, you know, they'll bundle it in with, you know, if they do like a Game of the Year edition kind of thing, and they bundle it, then you'll have the game and DLC. You know, if they do a Game of the Year further down the line, and it'll just be codes in the box along with the disc to redeem the DLC off the store. So the DLC will always be digital. But you can get a disc copy of this if you want to. It is on sale, actually, the game itself, at the moment, on the stores. The base game is, I think, 25% off on PSN at the moment. The digital deluxe edition of the game is 22% off, and if you're on Xbox Gold, I think the service is. It's 30% off at the moment. I'm not sure when the PlayStation sale ends, but I know the Xbox sale ends on Monday. So if you are on the fence about getting the game and you've been waiting for a sale, now is your opportunity. It is currently on sale for at least another couple of days. Have I seen Construction Simulator yet? Yes, Martin, I have. I've been playing it today, and it will be going live on the channel tomorrow. I just need to edit some footage later tonight. Don't blame me for your decision to buy games. If anything, you should be thanking me. It's games you are interested in potentially playing, and you're getting to see how they play before you buy them. So, if anything, I'm doing you a public service there, Cows Go Moo. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. The speed limit has increased. We can go back up to 25. Again, we're going to have a downhill gradient for part of this, so I won't go all the way up to 25. We'll let gravity help us out once we get up to some speed. Welcome Alpha Rod, welcome to this to the chat tonight. You're late to the party, we will be ending soon. Probably within about 15 minutes or so, maybe. We'll be playing some more of this West Somerset Rail over the next few weeks. But tonight's only intended as a first look, so we've done the basic introductions to each loco, we've run the Class 47, and now we're on the first of the scenarios for the Class 09. And once we get back to our target location, which as you can see is just over 2.5 miles down the road, that will be the end of our stream tonight. Jurassic World is a lot of fun, yes, Cows Go Moo. And the big update we got a couple of days ago, the 1.4 update, has added in a whole new challenge mode, which I will be live streaming tomorrow night. I already have a video up on my channel detailing all of the changes that have happened in update 1.4, and even showing off some of those changes where I can. Obviously my island is, or my islands are still underdeveloped compared to people who've had the game a lot longer than me. But I was able to show some of the changes, you know, in how they actually affect the game. And I will be taking on one of the challenges from challenge mode tomorrow night as a live stream, probably starting around the same time, about 9 PM in the UK tomorrow night. So as I say, if you don't already do so, you can follow me on Facebook and you can follow me on Twitter, and that way you can be notified exactly when I'm going to be live streaming in advance. Facebook is facebook.com/JimBobPlaysGames, all one word. And my Twitter is twitter.com/JBPG_JimBob. So either of those, it will be a way to find out exactly what time I'll be streaming tomorrow. And of course, Twitter will send you a direct notification as soon as I go live on the stream anyway, as will YouTube, so you can always check your YouTube subscription notification settings so that you get a notification as soon as I go live or release a video. Take it easy, Brandon. Thanks for stopping by. We will catch you another time. Now we're starting to pick up some speed. Let's release the throttle. Oh, we're going way too fast. We need to hit the brakes. We've got a 10-mile-an-hour zone coming up. This is for a level crossing, I believe. Yeah, there it is, look. There's our level crossing. Cunningly hidden through the trees so we can't see it. And we are still losing speed. Let's get the throttle back up. Can't go too fast. We've got a 5-mile-an-hour zone coming up for the other level crossing in a moment. Yeah, I knew Jurassic Evolution was on sale, but I wasn't sure what the sale price was, because whenever I look at things like that and I've already got it installed, it just says purchased. It never tells me what the price is. It's frustrating. I wish Sony wouldn't do that. And which version of Jurassic World is on sale? Is it the standard game? Is it the digital deluxe version? Or is it both? Because if it's only the standard version that's on sale and it's only 15% off, it's probably not worth buying it. You know, just because it's on sale. Because the price difference of having to pay for the additional dinosaurs if you want them, which, why wouldn't you, the extra dinosaurs that you would normally get included as standard with the premium edition, means that you're probably going to end up paying about the same anyway as just buying the premium edition. I wouldn't say I'm a pro at driving the trains yet, Martin. I'm improving, but we still make mistakes. I mean, you saw how disastrous our stream was last week with the S-Bahn. That was not a particularly fine display of driving there. Overshot pretty much all of the stations, or undershot them, one or the other. The sale I'm talking about is the UK store. I don't know if it's on sale in the US. They are completely independent stores, so what's on sale on the European store is not necessarily what's going to be on sale on the US store, and vice versa. So I can't guarantee that it'll be on sale in the US. I know it's definitely on sale here in the UK and on the European store. I should have said that, sorry. tree in the face. It's never a good thing. One mile to go until we reach our destination. We will have to slow down to 10 miles an hour just before we get there. Creeping the camera forward a bit more. There we go. Just ease the throttle down to 3 and start losing a bit of speed. Just take it down to 2. Let's see, we are very, very close now to the 10 zone. Getting that speed down. Got a level crossing coming up. That's why we need to slow down for 10 miles an hour. Got a nice little path connection here between fields for farmers just here, look. And the level crossing is coming up. The brakes. Let's get to the other side of the train. Avoid getting clobbered by a signal. Of the level crossing. The points here are going to be set for us. Where are we? Here. Yes, the points are set. So you can see there we are moving correct platform. Welcome Joey, you've joined unfortunately right at the very end of our live stream. We will be ending very soon, but welcome anyway. Do I know when Bus Simulator is coming to PS4 next year? No. Not been announced. All I know is it's coming out next year. That's all anybody knows right now. Train horn not working. Yeah, train horn works. There we go. And now let's pull the coaches into the right position. off. Brakes on. There we go. Fantastic. Do we need to uncouple? Nope, that's it. That's all for now. Thanks for getting it done. Secure and disembark the locomotive to finish. That's head out left, isn't it? I don't want head out left. Engineer left. There we go. Right, so reverser to the off position. Master switch off. Marker lights off. And then we just walk there to end. But before we do that, I want to have a look inside one of these coaches. This is the mail compartment here, I think, and the luggage compartment. That's our little guards room just there. That's very cool. Oh, I like that. That's beautiful. We can slide the windows down as well. Poke our head out. Well, kind of. These are classic Mark I British carriages. This is genuinely what they used to look like, although it's in very good condition because it's a restored heritage coach now. So it looks probably a lot better than it used to. You know, these things took an awful lot of wear and tear. We are getting some weird sound effects. Are we moving? No. Just getting some weird sound effects as I move through here. Oh, I thought for a minute we could actually get through into the toilet, which is something we haven't been able to do on any of the other carriages yet. No, can't use the toilets. No surprise there. There we go, yeah, some Mark I coaches. Fantastic stuff. Love it. Right, let's make our way over here. The Mud Runner American Edition, is it a DLC or a new game? It's a DLC expansion for Mud Runner, but I'm sure it will be released as a bundle as well. So if you don't already have the game, then you should be able to pick up both as a package deal. Cows Go Moo has a question. FS15 popped up for me, and it has PS Plus symbol. It says for free, but when I click on it, it says I have to pay. Am I confused? You're looking on the American store, aren't you? So I don't have the American store. I can't check that for you. And there we go. We have completed the Minehead Shunter Part 1 scenario. So that brings the end of our first look. There's still 4 more scenarios for us to play about with on this DLC, but we'll do that another time. So this is the end of our live stream tonight. As I say, tomorrow I will be live streaming some Jurassic World and taking on one of the challenges available on Isla Matanceros. Sorry, Isla Nublar. Hopefully I'll have enough stuff unlocked to be able to complete that, because I haven't unlocked everything else yet, so that could be interesting. But we'll get that done tomorrow, probably starting around about 9 PM UK time. Again, follow me on Twitter and Facebook for more accurate confirmation of when that will happen. It may be 9, it may be 10. We'll probably be streaming for about 3 hours or so. And Construction Simulator 2 will go live on the channel tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you check that out as well. That game is actually a lot of fun and pretty cheap as well, so it's definitely something that you can pretty easily afford to be able to pick up. Just one last glance at the comments. Yeah, if you don't have PlayStation Plus, Cows Go Moo, then that'll be why it's asking you to pay. I mean, if you have PlayStation Plus and it's asking you to pay, then there's a problem. And you'd be better off checking with Sony as to whether it's just an error on the store. But if you don't have PS Plus, yeah, you only get those freebies if you have PlayStation Plus. Right, so once again, that's it. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you with another live stream and some more videos tomorrow.